quickly go to the brief and see where we left off. So we'd made the upper and the lower casing, and I'd show you how to make the button and the ribs in the button, and that's as far as we got. Yes, and there was a rib in the upper half. Is that correct?
Yeah, we haven't done the ribs that hold the battery yet.
Okay, all right. So do you want to see that? Now let's deal with that, because let me just make sure I'm in the right. Just want to see if I can get rid of this thing. Does anyone know how to move this bar at the top? You guys can't see it, but it's my Zoom bar.
There should be view options. You might be able to see it, and if you click on it, it should say hide video panel. That might help.
Hide video panel. That didn't do it. Show video panel.
Ah, okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's oh, there we go. Oh, well done. I did do it. Okay. Right. So I just want to make sure I'm in the right place. KeyFob assembly. Right. I don't want to be in the multi-body parts, just because that will complicate matters. So I'm going to open this lower casing, and I've already got these two parts in place, because I had them in place from the other one. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to the original KeyFob solid part. Okay, and quickly see if I can't. Right, so I'm in the multi-body part. Those who might be struggling a little bit, maybe I didn't make clear that the bodies that are available to you will all be available under solid bodies. So whatever you've done to each body, you can access that body, let's say in this case, and you can either isolate it or you can save it as a separate file. So that's as far as I've got on this one. I'm going to just quickly see if I can't. There you go. Make those disappear. All right. So I forgot where we got to with ribs. But let's.
Phil, sorry.
Yeah.
I think someone might be in the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, Jake's just arrived.
But someone's arrived, haven't they?
Yeah, Jake has.
Jake, Mr. Satna, how are you? Nice. Okay, so let's quickly see if we can get this to disappear again. Ah, great. So I want to create a rib. I'm going to start from, in this case, I'm going to start from my top surface, which is where I like top plane, because I've got it in place already. And remember, you can select a plane, click Control, and you should be able to drag it down. So I can just drag an extra plane down and then decide what height I want that in. So let's make that 7. No, that's probably, let's see what 7 does. Okay, I can see straight away that 7 is not going to work, because you can see here that rib's going to be, well, actually, that's not bad. That's okay. It'll be all right. But you can actually see where, from the plane, you can see where it's going to intersect with the other bits of your body. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to use that plane to make a sketch on. I can go to offset, bidirectional. I'll make that 11. Okay. So what I need to be careful of here is that these, if I extend them, are going to meet that wall like that, which isn't too much of a problem, but from a molding point of view isn't ideal. You actually want these ribs to help the flow of material inwards. So I'm going to put in an extra little line here. Make that 19. Mirror this entity. I have to join these two. The error message for some reason. Go linear. Accept that one. Okay, great. All right, and because this is a rib, you can't really put in, well, it's not ideal to put radii in afterwards. So this is the one instance where you in fact want to put in your curves on the sketch. So I'm going to make it, let's make it nice and large. Maybe a bit smaller because it might interfere with the battery. Okay, so there my two ribs are. And if I go back to this one, if we change that, you can see that the battery is interfering with it. So let's go through this evaluate exercise again. And here you can see it shows a big where the interferences are. So this is one thing you should do whenever you're doing an assembly of any sort whatsoever, is just establish that nothing is interfering, and if it is, that you know what to do about it. Any questions so far? All okay. I'm going to go back to my section view just to see what I need to do. It's not in the right place, but I should be able to measure from here to this temporary axis. And you can see that 7.42, which I can click in and I can say control copy. Make sure I know what that diameter is. I think it's diameter 10.3. So we're back to my because unfortunately, because I've done it in the, well, unfortunately for this exercise, but I like this, because I've done it in my multi-body part, I have to go back to doing it there. No, in fact, I don't. Let's make this easier. Let's go to this one. All right, so here I'm in the part which is in my assembly, but it's derived from the multi-body part. So I just need a cutout in this region. So I'm going to go to the front plane, no, the right plane, put a sketch in, and I need visibility, so I'm going to click on this one, and then put a circle in around about here. and go and just see if I can get hold of those, and I can. So I need to make sure that that circle is here. I should be able to say Control V. There we go. And that's the dimension that I copied from that original dimension. So it's a neat way of just making sure that you can bring things across. And that should be a diameter of 10.3. Make it a bit bigger, 10.4. As you can see, it's going to interfere. So I need one more dimension, which is from that point to any point. But let's make it to the floor, if I can grab it. Make that 5 at 5. Too big. Yeah, that's all right. That'll do it. Okay, so now I've got the basis for cutting this this hole in the rib, which is fine on its own. But I want to put a bit of a taper on here. So I'm going to drag tangent line out, and I'm going to close this off. And then put in the center line so that I can select those two and mirror them. And then just put a few dimensions in here. Green doesn't really matter. No, one isn't. It's crazy. And then that to there would be good enough. So I center my circle to the top of the line. I'm going to leave it as it is. And then I could leave it as it is because I can still select regions, but I'm going to trim it a little bit. Right, and the moment it's trimmed so that it's suitable for use, it should go gray inside. So that's okay. I'm going to exit this. Make my view visible. Right, so this is going to create a problem because this is going to, in fact, slice all the way through this piece here. So I need to go back and check what that dimension should be. Right, so I know what I did here. I calculated the distance between the edge of this circle and that axis, and I should be doing it between the two axes. So let's just do that again, between that axis and this axis is 11.5. So if I copy that, go across here, double click on this one, change that one, and let's just make this angle a little bit smaller because that might also be causing a problem. Okay, now I can see it's not going to interfere with this piece, and it's going to slice out bits of my rib neatly. So I'm going to select the sketch, go to extrude cut, make sure that in direction I say mid plane, and then I can either go like that, so select a dimension, or I can go up to Oh, won't do it. It should. Plane, from sketch plane. Oh, okay. In fact, I can just go to body. And if I do up to body, it looks like I'll only do one side, so I'll have to select the other side as well. Yeah, it's sliced it out. And if I want to, I can now put in some fillets or chamfers.
So,
Yeah.
is there a way that in the assembly you could kind of use the battery to cut the rib
Yes.
rather than kind of having to remake it?
Not in the yeah, I don't think in the assembly. That you could do in a multi-body part. You could I don't think of the word. You could boolean one from the other.
Okay, like kind of as if you'd make like a mold.
Yes.
Okay.
So another great feature, another great reason why I like multi-body parts is you can do things like that. But in assembly, as far as I know, you can't. I might be wrong. I'll check up on that and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so any questions about this so far? Let me save this. Hop across to my assembly. Do this evaluation again. So there's a little bit of an interference, and the reason for that isn't because I know what I'm doing, because I've done this before, not know what I'm doing, but is because the way I've placed this battery is tangent to the bottom. So let's just hide this one. So I've actually placed this battery tangent to that face. So it is sitting a bit low. So all I need to do is go delete that one. All right, so we've only got 10 minutes left. And now I should be able to pull this up and just hit one of these edges. And I should, no, that's not going to do it. Yeah? The reason for not being able to connect them now is that I've made this face here slightly larger than the battery because that's what it needs to be. Otherwise, the battery is not going to fit nicely. So I'm going to go back to that tangent one. And I'm going to go back to that one. I should now be able to put in a dimension. So I'm going to put that distance there as 0.3. So you see it's rising up a little bit. Okay. And if we now do an interference calculation, the only one that's, as you can see now, the only one that's problematic is this little button interfering with the boss. And that's easy to fix because I can just go into that boss feature even inside my assembly. And there's that dimension, and I can just alter that. Say 0.8. Rebuild. And you can see there's a little bit of a gap now. So I want this to touch exactly as I've asked. I'd go and measure those two. I'd go and say, what's the distance between that and that? And it's 0.2. So I can go back to this feature. 0.02. So those two are, well, not quite. All right, but you get the idea. That, I mean, that's close enough for what we're doing at the moment. 10 minutes left. Is there anything that you guys want to ask before I carry on? Before I try and remember where I need to go next. I know where. Okay, so we'll have to continue after the break. I'm going to cut out in about 8 or 9 minutes. But if I cut out, we'll come back at 2, if that's all right with you guys. I'm sure you already know how to do exploded views. Is that a yes or a no? Is there someone who wants to tell me?
We have done them.
Do you need a refresher at all?
I don't think so. Can I ask you a question though about exploded views?
Sure.
Because currently the options are either kind of 90 degrees or radial. Is there a way that you could kind of change the line in which they explode?